Hello there everyone and welcome to a new review. This review is supposed to go live on Tuesday, but I had a small hiccup, so I'm bringing it today. So we have two reviews for the week, and today we are talking about Wayne's Exchange 2. So what is Wayne's Exchange 2? It's essentially a comedy mind reading routine. So a lot of comedy products don't get reviewed or don't get snatched up. This one included. It doesn't have much traction or reviews online. So I decided to pick it up and give everyone a review because it is an interesting product. So what does it do? Essentially, you have a stack of cards that have different activities written on them. You hand the cards to the spectator. He shuffles. He looks at the top card, remembers it. Then you ask them to remember the name. You take back the cards. You write your prediction on the board. It's going to write sex. And then you go into a comedic routine, not showing the spectator what you wrote on the board, but showing the audience. And you ask questions, and of course the answers the person are going to give you are silly because that's not a word they're thinking of. And then you give them the board to the spectator. You ask them, so finally, what was the word that you were thinking of? They say eat. Everyone saw that you gave them the board that said sex. And when they turn over the board that you just gave them, that everyone thought was written sex on, changed into the board that says eat. So it's a nice little interesting effect with a comedic background that gives you quite some mileage for your buck. So where do you buy it and how much is it? So this is a Alakazam product. You can buy it on their store, or I bought it on Vanishing Ink for $28 on sale for Black Friday. If not, it retails as $35, I believe. So what do you get when you purchase Wayne's Exchange 2? So first of all, you get this little pouch where inside you get your little card. On the back it has the video instructions and a link to a PDF that gives you the script and a few additional ideas. And then of course you get, I'll show you right here, you get your cards. So you get the cards that you show to people with different words on them, right? And the backs. So these are the cards you get. It's, for a size comparison, it's around quite the size of my hand. So it's really a good size for parlor and stage. So you can show it around. You can, have people read them, no problem. And these could be shuffled and cut and shuffled however you want. And at the end, you will be able to know if the spectator has the card that you want on top, because these are also very ingeniously marked. So these are also marked for your special cards that you would want to force your spectator. And with these cards and the PDF, you also get, of course, the instructional video, which is 48 minutes long. The first around 8 to 10 minutes are Peter Nardi discussing why they released a version 2, because this is the same exact trick as version 1. Even the instructions are the same instructions as the one from the version 1, except for the fact that these are now made bigger, these are now made marked, and these have some ingenious principles in them that the first one did not have. And in the video, they teach you the main routine that you see in the trailer. That's probably the only routine you're gonna do with these cards. And you get everything provided except for the blank boards that you can just go buy from your local dollar store. You don't have to gimmick them in any way or do anything special. The change that you do at the end is extremely simple and anyone is able to do it. So what is the difficulty of the effect? We've already talked about it briefly, but the difficulty essentially with the reveal is 0. It's basically automatic. With the cards, again, super simple. As long as you can read a mark, you know whether you've hit or not hit, and you can proceed with the effect, and it's quite clear in that regard, so that's also incredibly easy. The only difficult part is making the routine good. And what I mean by this is a routine where the person on stage is going to give you answers that for them seem normal, but for everyone else are going to laugh and seem absurd. So you're going to want to make sure that the person on stage is comfortable. You want to make sure that you're not, crude or, mishumoring them. You don't want to ask weird questions. For example, the word you're showing everyone is sex. You don't want to be weird with the person, especially maybe if they have their boyfriend or their husband or vice versa in the audience. You don't want to ask them, oh, would you do that certain activity with me or stuff like that. You want to breach the limit of funny and being outright unfunny and just crude and sleazy and cheesy. So that's going to be the bulk of the work, is making sure that you're able to choose a spectator that you feel is not going to be bothered and is going to take this like a joke. And also you have to choose your venue. I wouldn't go and do this at a children's party because of course it's not meant for children, or I won't go do this at a Sweet 16 or anything like that, or I won't go do this at an event, where they're, at a, this could work at a wedding, but I wouldn't do this at like, a book club or something like this if you go perform there. So, you have to choose your venue and you have to learn a script that you believe is good for you. You learn the lines. And another thing I would suggest is when you learn the lines, don't do all of them. Just test the audience. If you see the audience isn't responding to your first 3 jokes, maybe they're just not enjoying what you're trying to do. So you should just cut to the chase. And if you see that they're really enjoying it, they're really laughing, they're really having a good time, and you see the spectator on stage is kind of getting that, you didn't write the exact word, and he or she is having fun, then you can add a few lines. And I think that, this is why it's really good for comedy performers, because you're going to be able to work around your script and be able to make this routine have an impact that people will remember. So is it usable and where do you use it? So yes, it is usable. Like I said, super easy, nothing difficult, nothing to hide. Your angles are pretty good. And where do you perform this? Parlor or stage? This is not doable on restaurant. This is not doable in walk around. This is not doable in table hopping. This is doable when you have your own mini stage or a large stage for you to do this, because you do have to have a person sitting behind you, you facing the audience, and you do need an audience and you do need, a stage for you to do this. This is not something you're going to be able to do table hopping. So this, I would say, is exclusively for parlor and stage. They do show you a routine for close-up, for more close-up situations. But, I think even for you guys that are watching this, I think that you would agree that this would have the best possible impact on stage and not in close-up or a walk-around gig. And is it practical? Depends on what you see as practical. You do have to carry this full deck, and you have to carry whiteboards. So you do have to carry quite some stuff for this. You could carry, just a large sketchbook. That would work as well to minimize your space. But if you want to do it on stage, I would just recommend you buy from the local dollar store a sketchbook or two with big sheets of paper that are white and like cardboardy, and that would give you what you need. So it is practical, but if you really want to do it, you do have to bring larger stuff to accompany your routine. But it is, this, you can just slip it in any case, it's ready to go, and then you just have the boards to bring with you. So would I recommend this routine, and who is this routine for? Yes, I would recommend this routine. I would definitely perform this. So I would perform this, I would try it out, see the reactions. I think it's a really funny routine. I've come up with a few lines for myself. I'm not much of a comedy performer. I'm really much more serious. I have a few shows that I do. I have one that's only cards and gambling. I have one that's really, personal mentalism. So with tarot cards, with, astro sign divination and making objects move and stuff like that. So I have a really serious one. Then I have one that's variety, where I do different stuff with Rubik's Cubes, with rope, with cards, with coins, with other props, with Scrabble games, with envelopes. pretty spread around, but I do not have any show that is based on comedy. And I feel that I could add this in my variety show and have it in the case ready. And if I see that the people are really having fun, really enjoying, I could pull this out and do this as a routine in my variety show, and I think it would do really well. And that's for someone that doesn't do anything that's comedy. So I'm a pretty serious performer. In my variety show, I'm more jokingly, more, talking, more interacting, and just having more fun rather than my other, shows where I'm a little bit more serious. I'm still, having fun with the spectators, interacting, talking with them, but I'm a little bit more serious in what tone I do the effects on. And yeah, so this could be good even for performers as myself, but this, if you're a comedy performer and you perform comedy routines, you should 100% get this routine. I think you'll get your mileage out of it. So thanks everyone for watching. Of course, you want to know how much I rate this on 10. I give Wayne's Exchange 2 an 8.5 on 10. It is a really good routine. I believe it could go in a lot of people's repertoires if this is your cup of tea. Well made, well produced. You get a PDF, you get the instructions, you have everything you need to get going. I think this is a good product. I think you will enjoy it. And that's pretty much it for my review. Thank you very much for watching. Please comment down below if you have any questions you want to ask me about the product. Like, subscribe, all of that. I really hope you do. It helps me grow. It helps me give me, just an incentive to go forward. And see everyone in the next few reviews. I do have a lot of them planned. And I hope that I don't get any more hiccups or anything to stop me from doing them, and deliver you guys more reviews soon on more products that you guys want to see. Thank you again, and bye-bye.